I'm muted. Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Dan. I'm excited for a new season of TLE. I'm ready to jump into it. I mean, starting off casting, which is maybe a little less exciting than playing, but I'm ready to see some good games nonetheless. Oh, nice. You might be on the wrong mic or something like that. I'm not sure. All right. Well, as Dan was saying, we got a we got a bunch of new teams in here, from all over a bunch of different states. I forgot what all the states he named, but like it's not just Utah teams anymore. So, super excited because I think the meta just with different teams coming in is going to be a whole lot different. I mean, of course, there might be some staple picks and stuff like that, but I want to see some new play styles out of these new teams, and I'm excited to see what kind of strategies and mix-ups we get to see.
All right, my mic is should be working now. So, Brandon just recapped everything I just said. Thank you so much. I do want to take a quick dive and take a look at some of these teams that have joined recently. And to update some viewers who might not be aware, we do have two new leagues. We have the Azure League and the Obsidian League. And if you have been a long-time viewer with us, you might know that you've heard these names in the past, back in the summer of 2020. Um, the Azure League is the lower league, which is any teams that are gold and below, while the Obsidian League are all teams that are platinum and above. So in the Azure League, we have the Fallen Angels, who also are participating in our Rocket League divisions. We have Thunderbird Esports B. We have WCU League Esports. We also have Bun 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 Bun, also known as Quad Buns or Quadruple Buns or Bun 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 Bun, whatever you want to call them, doesn't matter. And then we have Farmington High School. And in the Obsidian League, we have some teams that we have seen before, along with some new teams. One Way Traffic, also known as One Win Traffic, a classic. They're joining us yet again, followed by Team Immortal Lotus, who has shown to be a very fierce contender, and we have a representative here on the desk. Following up, then we have USM Eagle Esports Black. They are a new team to the league, and then we have Definitely Not PogChamp, which is a team that is returning with some new players as well. And last but not least, we have Thunderbird Esports, A team, or just Thunderbird Esports, however you want to look at it. So we have some new players, we have some returning players, and so it'll be super fun to see all these players play.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think it's nice to have the two leagues because sometimes you're going in, the lower teams like, oh, we're playing like a super high team. It's gonna, it's gonna kind of hurt this week. But I think splitting the leagues means that any of these teams have a chance to win. Honestly, the ranks are within that same range. So any team can take it. I mean, we've even seen some really low teams pull off some crazy upsets against the higher ones. So
Well,
you
yeah.
never know what's going to happen.
And I mean, I just want to talk about Team Immortal Lotus for a bit, because like a lot of people might be sleeping on you guys, especially when you look at your like op.gg, or if we look at like your overall team's rank, just because some of your players are gold and like mid gold, but you're playing in the upper division. And while you might only have two diamond players on there, your team just has amazing chemistry, and you guys have been known to take down like the full diamond slash GM teams. So I mean, you can never count anyone out, and it's always fun to see them compete. So we are getting everyone in the lobby, so we'll be starting the game in just a few minutes, but I want to take a little moment to talk about the new season. While I have not been playing too much and I haven't been too up to date, I know for a fact Brandon has been playing a bunch. So talk to us about some picks that we might be expecting, some shifts that we might be seeing, and what are we expecting kind of for this next couple of weeks in TLE.
Well, the meta for a bit has been a lot of emphasis on Moonstone. Like the enchanters that are able to pick up Moonstone and go into Staff of Flowing Water have been super strong, and they're just able to enchant and heal up, buff up their ADCs or even their bruisers and possibly jungle and top. this last patch we did see a lot of nerfs going towards these bruiser picks, like taking away or nerfing Gore Drinker, Sterax, Hydra, right? So possibly taking away some of those power from the bruisers that have been so prominent in the jungle and the top lane. So possibly losing that, but I think the enchanters in terms of buffing up hyper carries is insane right now, especially with the new buffs to Chemtank Purifier, which allow enchanters to pick up basically a grievous wounds that applies on whoever they shield their next auto attack, which is insanely useful because it takes away a lot of that. Oh man, I have to buy executioners, I have to buy Morel and Omicron. No, just buy Chemtank Purifier and there you go, right? So it adds a lot of strength to these enchanters, and I expect to see a lot of them. Obviously, I mean, you don't have to play towards these super meta picks when you're playing with your team, because sometimes comfort is just overrides everything else. But I think that if you want to go for that, I think that's very strong right now. And playing with a hyper carry can be insanely useful. I mean, we've seen like stuff like Kaisa is constantly just getting first picked out of like rotation because that champ's just insane. And I think that the strongest AD carry by far, because she can shred through people, and with an enchanter by her side, it's impossible to take her down.
For sure. And like as you're mentioning, it seems like there are definitely some items, notably like the grievous wounds, like you were saying, that are kind of like a must build for almost anyone in the game. Like all top laners, if you're a tank, you're expected to build a Thornmail or at least a Bramble Vest. If you're a mage, you're expected to build an Oblivion or and so on and so forth. It seems like there are a lot of items where a lot of build paths are kind of more set in stone, especially with those new mythic items.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm pretty excited to see how these teams like are able to play towards the draft. I mean, I'm interested to see. I think like champions like Udyr have been super fun to watch. I mean, stuff getting pulled out in LCS, which is pretty strange because you don't expect to see a pick like Udyr, but man, that champ is just everywhere, just running people down. And I think that that's a champ that can be very easily picked up by the kind of teams that we're seeing here. So we'll see if something fun comes out like that. But you know, picks around the board can always work out. So
you have to love the Flash Bear Slap.
Like, I mean, how could you not? How could you not?
You can't diss on the Flash Bear Slap. I'm not sure if anyone was watching LCS over the weekend. I think it was on Sunday. They did a little clip on like it was like how to effectively play Udyr, and it was just kind of a meme where they just said like, this is how you play Udyr. You right click on the person, and then you hit flash.
Yeah,
and that was it. It's just pretty funny, just because like he is such a straightforward and super simple champion. Yet with these new items and everything, like he just runs around and does things, like, and he gets work done. I'm curious if we'll see him in this game, but we are about to head into Champion Select. And we'll be able to see it. And one thing I do want to mention is Dark Neuron, also known as Henry. He will be casting the game with Brandon, but he is actually coaching Bun. So he'll be joining us in a few minutes once the
see some bias from them, but you know.
Yeah, we'll see. So who have you been playing this season, Brandon?
I've just been playing the classic Echo as I do every single season. And then I played Seraphine to Masters because that champ was broken out of everyone's mind, and I literally went like on a 10-game win streak with that champ. So there was that, and then I demoted out of Masters, and I'm just sad. But I've been playing a lot of control mages. Like
you were in Masters?
Yeah, I hit Masters.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I hit Masters. I hit 50 LP, and then
okay.
I'm pretty sure like I'm like 20% win rate out of my last like 40 games or something like that. So, hey, happens. Anyways,
okay.
Not talking about that. Okay. I've been playing I think a lot of control mages are pretty strong right now. So, I mean, even sticking with the Echo, just because that's my main champ, and I think he's pretty much always good no matter what the meta is.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing like Victor, Cassiopeia. I think Orianna, super strong pick, but not really my style. Just haven't really felt it. But those have kind of been my picks. And I expect to see stuff like that. I think Zoe's a pretty strong pick too. Just because, I don't know, it just seems like a lot of these assassin picks aren't really as strong right now. Especially when you have like enchanters that just deny you when you go in, or just shield and buff up your ADC that you're trying to one-shot, then it just becomes difficult. So I think the control mages are usually.
Their fear is wise. You reek of fear.
I don't know. Oh well. Okay, apparently Dan's muted. I don't know how that happened, but okay. But yeah, I mean, I think the playing comfort is like way better than trying to play like a champion that you never played with before just because it's meta. Because even at like the diamond level of play, if you're playing a champion who have like 5 games on ever, you're not going to do well against. Because they just know the limits of the champion. They know how it plays. So I think one of the biggest things is you have to ban out those comfort picks, especially at that lower elo.
All right.
Are you still muted?
Oh, I think I should be good now.
Okay.
You know, for first stream of the season, we're getting everything technically, in line.
Oh yeah, is Viego live? Is Viego
Viego, no, he shouldn't
Okay.
be.
Viego's incredibly fun, by the way.
I forgot to tell the teams that, so if they picked Viego, I guess we're just gonna have to go with it. I just realized
Okay.
I still have
HBS
the.
is still on there,
yeah,
nice.
let's
And
just,
Imlo too. Okay.
there we go.
Hey.
Yeah, we don't have Lojos this season. I'm sorry.
Feels bad.
I kind of hope Viego isn't picked. Just that would.
I mean,
would,
looking at their OPGGs, it doesn't seem like anyone's playing it.
No.
But hey, maybe someone's feeling good today and it's like, hey, let me pull it out. There's the Kai'Sa pick I was talking about. It's just first pick, so
Yeah.
hey, there it is.
All right, cool. Well, I was going on this monologue that Brandon summarized up for me pretty well. I was talking about how like comfort picks generally are better than meta picks, but we can always see some really nutty stuff right now. But so far, we're seeing that Kai'Sa Insta-locked, which is going against everything I said. How Kai'Sa is just always either pick banned, and then followed up by the Jhin Olaf. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Jhin, I think, is a pretty solid, I mean, probably the second best ADC in the game next to Kai'Sa. I mean, you have, like, stuff like MF you can respond to, but I think Jhin especially does good in the lane against Kai'Sa, so I think I mean, I heard Henry talking about it today, Dark New, and he was saying, like, hey, man, if they pick Kai'Sa, like, I'm totally fine, I'm just going to pick Jhin into it, so I think a little bit of preference going in there. I think that he has a lot of influence over their ADC because he's been coaching him a little bit. So, and then you can see the Olaf pulled out. I mean, definitely a very strong jungler right now, and I mean he has been for a little bit. Even with the Gore Drinker nerfs, he's still an insane pick, just rolling over people. He's always going to win fights in the early game. So, pretty nice to see. Probably a pretty nice pick to keep get the early game rolling, especially against a pick like Kai'Sa. And we see response Gragas and Leona, some of that wombo combo. I think Leona Kai'Sa is a great lane, especially against the Jhin. If you just get on that guy, he's going to get shut down, CC locked, and it's going to hurt real bad, especially when you have a Gragas coming into your lane. And I assume that's going to be the jungle pick. I mean, I guess we'll see as we go on, but man, like this Jhin can get absolutely destroyed.
And I do want to mention, we just had a question in chat. This is the Azure League going on, so this is the Gold and Below League. I think one of these players might be Plat, but the average rank of the teams is around Gold. And then the Janna response, I think that's definitely a response to the Leona, is it not?
Yeah, it's a pretty nice pick into it actually. Because if you have the right timing, you can use the Q to cancel the E midway. Obviously, you outrange the Leona quite a bit. I mean, you even have the ability to actually like outroam the Leona if you do decide to do that. I don't know if Hyminta is really the kind of player to pull that out. I've played a decent bit with her, and it seems like she's very like standard in the Enchanter. Just try to buff your ADC and play for that lane. So, but I think it's a pretty solid pick still. You can buff the Jhin as he's going in for those fourth shots, find those pretty solid trades, and And so we'll see how this 2v2 comes down. I think it's very versatile, but both teams have the potential to outplay the other.
Mhm.
And with that, I mean, Ornn and Silas taken out. Silas did receive some buffs recently, this recent patch, and I think that he's a pretty good pick if you want to pull him out.
He was pretty good before the buffs, right?
Yeah, I thought he was a solid pick. I mean, I didn't see him a lot just because I guess I don't know, people weren't really picking him, but I thought he was a solid pick. Now he's got some buffs under his belt, so we'll see. Is that a Galio pick? You said?
Yeah. So that is actually a Galio pick. They don't own Galio, so they are placeholding with Mordekaiser.
Unfortunate. All right. Well, Galio, I guess that's going towards the mid lane. Probably one of the stronger like melee champs in mid lane, because you can just give so much. You provide so much utility, and for some reason you will out-trade every single player in the game because you're a tank and you're gonna one-shot them. So that's always fun to see. Nivea and Poppy is the response. So
It's
last
last
actually
second Shen.
man, I was hoping for the Poppy because I know that's like your pick. But
Man, wait, where's my Poppy minifigure? What?
it's gone.
It's somewhere.
You're gonna find like a Shen minifigure instead because of
It
this
just,
pick.
it just turns into a Shen. I mean, Shen,
Yeah.
Shen is my second most played, so. And
okay, well there you go.
I know you can appreciate Shen too, because I feel like every game we see your team play, your top laner Woot is just playing Shen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it was especially a solid pick in the meta when we were playing it. So okay, and we got
And the
Careful.
last pick Tarek is actually Kennen. So
okay, Kennen. All right, well, interesting. Yeah, we did. Okay, so Shen for the top lane, Anivia for the mid lane. I'm trying to figure out these teams, but it's so hard to see on the other side because we got two placeholders. It's Galio and Kennen.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just acknowledging, making sure that both teams know
No, yeah, you're
everything's
good.
going on.
You're good. Gotta figure it out. Unfortunately, you don't have all the champs, and it can get a little annoying. But
Mhm.
we'll see how this goes out. Okay, so overall, I think a pretty solid like front to back team fight idea that Thunderbird Esports have. Right, they have the very fat front line and Leona and Shen, and even some engage within that. Gragas, of course, depending on what he wants to go, he can go for a more tanky build. He can go for that Night Harvester one-shot Gragas, and I guess we'll see how that. But a lot of disruption within that team fight. And Kaisa and Anivia, of course, just sitting on that back line, waiting for their opportunity. Of course, Kaisa can find those dives, but totally fine to just shred through the Olaf first, and then maneuver into the back line with the Leona or the Gragas engage. So especially with a Shen that can ult on top of you as you go through, it's super strong, and Anivia just kind of sit there to do the damage and whatever else. So especially Anivia, I think a pretty solid counter pick into the Olaf, because Olaf can get mad and not get CC'd, but you can't run past walls. So Anivia's pretty nice on that.
I do want to mention that we are actually in chat, like in the lobby chat, we are redrafting just from the Galio pick. Okay, and they're keeping the Shen. So the draft is staying the same. So it is the Mordekaiser should be Galio, while Tarot should be Kennen. So we are all set. We should be hopping right back into champion select in just a minute.
All right.
And we're good. I just wanted to make sure. Just the blue team actually did not know that Galio was picked.
That could be a bit of an issue. So
It definitely could be.
Works out in the end. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, talking about bun here.
Bun.
The quad bun. I think that a little bit of a different style. I mean, it's hard to like see exactly like an idea. I think that Ken and Galio definitely has an idea. Even Olaf comboing with the Galio ulti, he just runs into the middle of them and he finds the Galio ult, right? But other than that, it's kind of just peeled back. You have to make sure that your Jhin doesn't get one shot randomly out of nowhere, because that can be pretty devastating. I think that Olaf is definitely definitely wanting to get his ball rolling really early within this game. Whether he wants to do that with invades or finding ganks on possibly mid lane early before the Nivea hits that level 6 power spike that can become so annoying. But I think controlling chokes is going to be very big for both of these teams because they fight really well if they're able to find a choke. Because Cannon Flash engage, Galio finds a big taunt, Olaf just runs through and demolishes everyone. Whereas on the other side, Leona ulti, Gragas ulti, Anivia ulti, all really good and just keeping that zone controlled. So I think that's going to be a huge part of this game, and whoever's going to be able to get to the objectives first, which I think a lot of importance will be put onto Dragons if PK Denied wants to just go off and do the Olaf thing and take Dragons off of spawn. So we'll see how that goes, and I think that I really want to focus on this Olaf versus Gragas within the early game because both of them are very good at getting the ball rolling early. So I think a lot of it will come down onto who can enable their teams better.
Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, Rev Knight is taking the words out of my mouth. Like you are killing it on the analysis, and I'm just kind of here to ask you questions and kind of like lead us in the right direction. But just from my gold platinum eyes, it seems like this double Anivia comp that we're seeing up on screen is
the double Anivia.
The double Anivia.
Very prestigious. Okay, people don't actually know this, but
yeah.
You can pick 2 Anivias on your team if you want. Okay, unfortunately they decided to change it for the Kai'Sa. That's just lame. I thought the double Anivia pick would be really huge.
No, but what I was going to say is like this Kai'Sa is just sitting in the back. Same with the Anivia, kind of, but like the Kai'Sa's just sitting in the back, like, hey, I'm gonna shoot these people down. I got a Gragas, I got a Shen, I got a Leona stand in front of me, and like, if the Olaf can get in there around the Anivia wall somehow, then yeah, the Kai'Sa's gonna be in trouble. But even then, I feel like this Kai'Sa has so many ways to get around, to stay safe. And there's tons of peel on Thunderbird's side to make sure that they can keep their carries safe. So I'm really curious to see what creative ways Quad Bun can. I can't with their team name. I'm really curious what creative ways Bun can get their team fight win, because they do have definitely a few different ways with the Kennen flank, with the Olaf running straight at him, with maybe a nutty Janna something. I don't know. They have some creative ways to do it, and I'm curious to see what they'll do. At any moment now, we are going to be having Dark Niran join us. Maybe he can give us a little insight to what he was thinking when he was drafting for Quad Buns.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully we'll be able to hear from him. Hey, there he is.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Speak of the devil. All right, Henry here.
Yeah. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
We can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Nice. Wait, I gotta find the parsec link again. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
You might have to.
Well, what?
I got you. Just go ahead, join whenever you can.
Nice. We're in.
Woo.
Nice. Okay, well, we were just talking. We wanted a bit of your insight onto Quad Bun's draft and what was going on inside your head as you were drafting.
So we're trying to bait Zoe, but I think they found out, right?
Okay.
And they've played together a bunch, and it's their first time doing something like really competitive outside of Clash. So they decided to pick something like really easy. Everyone kind of just has a go button, and we figured we'd have global pressure with Galio, some engage with like Olaf and Kennen. But I know the Janna might seem a little weird, but it's only there because the support can only really play like the Moonstone Enchantress type supports. So we figured Janna would be best at negating the Leona.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I did like have some issue just trying to figure out how the Janna was gonna like work with the go in type style that the rest of the team has. But yeah, I think it's totally fine in negating some of the engage. Like you can cancel Shenton, cancel the Leona E, so it's totally fine.
You cancel a lot of things, which I think the comp from is it SUU, right?
Yeah.
I think the comp with SUU is kind of like they all kind of want to do different things, right? Gragas and Shen kind of want to peel off. Leona and Kaisa kind of want to dive, but Anivia kind of wants to sit in the back. If we can negate like the Leona into being useless, then I think they had a pretty good chance of being pretty successful in the draft. But now that I'm a caster, where's my camera? Okay. Here we go. Now that I'm casting,
there he is.
It's time to switch to being unbiased. So I think Thunderbolt Esports has a really good chance at this as long as they can negate the Olaf can engage with Gragas and Shen, and they can re-dive with Leona if they have to.
So before we hop into this game, I just want to ask you, Henry, like how on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being like GG easy, how happy are you with this draft? Like from Bun's side.
From Bun's perspective,
Yeah.
I think there's some champions that I wish Bun's teams can play. But I'm overall pretty satisfied with the draft. I'm just excited to see whether or not they're able to execute their roles in the game like to a standard that allows them to win this first match of the season.
Awesome. Well, we are going to be hopping right into game. So I'm gonna leave it off to Dark Niran and Central.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Awesome, man. I mean, hey, this is it. This is the first game of the season of the Azure League. So kicking it off, I think I want to see some hyphy plays. I think I can see some very explosive team fights within this game. I was talking a lot about how I think a lot of it's going to be on early on this Olaf and this Gragas.
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on what they want to do, I think that they have to look to really enable their lanes, which will snowball them into a much easier team fight later down the line. So we'll see how that comes down.
One thing I will want to mention is we'll see this as we get into game, but something very interesting is Rage of Veltis and DeathSG decided to swap lanes last minute in order to allow Galio to be played mid. So this allows Kennen to have the lane bully matchup into the Shen, while Galio is able to affect both sides with his heroic entrance, right? That's gonna be something to look out for. I'm excited to see how this top lane 2v2 plays out because Kennen and Olaf are gonna be really, really strong early. It's gonna be kind of spooky to kind of deal with them as Greg is. So, but if they can negate the amount of early pressure that Rage of Veltis and PK denied put out, then they have a very good chance of being able to enable their Kaisa Leona combo.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was kind of interested to see if they were just going to put Kennen mid and Galio top, just based off of where they're going. But yeah, I guess the comfort champions definitely fine to just swap that. I mean, you can already see a 5-man stack towards this top side. So I'm interested to see what kind of invade that this happens. You see Olaf just getting that ward down in the dot early, and Rage of Veltis doesn't realize what's going on. The Q into the taunt. First blood over to Kaisa, probably the most valuable member to have that first blood on.
Yeah, Rage of Veltis here. Not being able to hold in the right position, wasn't able to spot the invade out in time. I don't think he was prepared, but allows Kaisa to start the game with 400 gold, and that's going to be very nice to be inside of her pocket.
Oh my gosh. Yo, big shout out to Revenai for the 5 tier 1 gifted subs. I see Johnny Cake Z and JD Lol. Hot Tub Dan, you got a sub to your pretty much your own channel, man. I mean, what the heck, but awesome. Yeah, big shout out to that. Hyping it up for the first game of the season. You love to see it, and already with some with a bit of a gold lead over to SUU.
I do want to mention that Kaisa actually hasn't really bought anything with the 400 gold she got. I'm not sure. My parsec was blacked out. I'm not sure if she managed to get her recall off or not, or decided to walk straight bot. But it is kind of strange that Kaisa isn't really utilizing the advantage of having the gold. Like maybe she's waiting for in the previous seasons you could maybe understand that she could be waiting for BF sword or something like that, but with Noon Quiver being added in the game, it doesn't really make any sense to save that 400 gold.
Yeah, I think it can be a little unfortunate because you oftentimes you take that first blood and you can really put the pressure down on the lane with it, but I guess doesn't offer that. We'll see when this first back comes out and what she's able to buy with that, but You can see already the junglers moving on the opposite sides of the map. Olaf moving towards this bottom side, which might help relieve some of that pressure that you could feel from this Kai'Sa Leona combo. Whereas Gragas is moving towards the top side. We see a little bit of trading coming out from this Shen, just getting that grass pock, and Rage of Veltis just trying to throw his throw a shurikens at him, say no bad Shen, and do a little bit of trading back on his own.
I'm experiencing. Sorry, guys. I'm experiencing another technical difficulty. I think I need approval for Parsec again, or something. It blacked out, and when I refreshed it, it just like closed. So, okay, there we go.
You hate to see it. Okay, we're back.
Okay, we're back. Nice.
It's okay. Nothing too exciting happening while you're gone. So
Yeah. So, you can see here, Gragas making a really good decision to make sure I'm on the right timer, right? We're make sure that they're on the opposite sides of like the jungle, because Olaf is very, very strong early, right? So avoiding him
Yeah.
as much as you can is pretty important.
yeah, Crab's going to be easily taken up for both of these junglers. You can see very smart by Rage of Elpis, just standing very far back because he knows that the jungler could be on his lane right here, and the wave is really unfortunate for him, so he's probably going to lose out on a bit of minions, but if he's able to stay away, he's walking a little bit closer river, and it might be dangerous channeling this recall here, and Gragas is now walking up on this timer. He's looking for this play on top side, but it seems like they're able to get out of that just fine, and wasting a bit of time.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy for Rage to see.
It is pretty hard to engage onto the cannon, especially when he still has Z, right? I think, Veltis was watching the timers, making sure that he's aware that Gragas could potentially be on the top side right now. And, saving his Z and not doing anything too crazy with his wave until he's back out.
Yeah, and I gotta give a lot of respect to that, because a lot of times we see, man, if your wave's like in a bad spot and you're on that gank timing, people just don't back up and you get ganked, and it can already just snowball into worse circumstances. So a lot of respect giving over, able to dodge out on that gank, and so far nothing too crazy happening past that first blood. You can see Olaf just clearing through his jungle. All right. I've been told to keep talking, so I'm just gonna keep talking. Now Olaf is on this bottom side. The dragon is up. Although this Kai'Sa Leona have pushed in their lane, so SUU does have control over this bottom lane if Olaf wants to look for this early dragon. You can see that the vision was spotted out with the sweeping cone. So it seems like they're probably not going to be able to get down too quick, but you can see actually a bit of a tussle coming down. Physic might be taken down here, but I mean, Gragas is just sitting in the bottom of this bush, so a trade like that could be very, very deadly for this bot lane on the side of Bun. So they have to be very, very careful and realize that he's there, but they have no vision of him. Olaf is now on this river, so moving up towards this middle lane instead, moving towards or away from this bottom lane. So the counter gank is going to be very, very delayed if they look for it. Gragas is still just sitting there, and it seems like, I mean, yeah, he's missing out on a lot of tempo with his camps, but with the wave being as scary as it is, and the E coming down from physics, Leona is already in it, trying to stun up, and a huge Jana Tornado cancels the Gragas dash, and that means that the gank turns into pretty much nothing. PK denied trying to move towards this bottom side to help out on that gank, but a great tornado is able to negate that one, and all that tempo lost just sitting in the bush is a lot of wasted time. For I don't know how to pronounce the name, ZA. I'm just gonna call him ZA for now, or XA. So, and now with that, both junglers just kind of walk away. I mean, I would have liked to see something like an early dragon come out, but understandable if they don't want to look for it. I can't really see the state of mid lane, so it can get pretty annoying. But Nivea is on no mana, so she'll have to find a resets pretty soon if she wants to be able to be useful for these next fights. You can see jungler's now on the same side, and Gragas is possibly going to look for this return gank. Fortunately for Rage of Elpis, he is able to get in that lane and find the recall now, and XA is going to be pretty happy, able to pick up the second scuttle, while Olaf is just kind of clearing his way towards the bottom side once again. Anivia now on this reset. I'm assuming that we're going to see Galio right after. Bot lane is now reset for Bun, so we'll see if with these resets that's now the timing that they want to look for. I mean, we haven't seen a reset coming out of SUU, so now with Olaf moving towards this bottom side, their bot lane fresh on resets, that would be the optimal time to try and find this dragon that will go pretty much uncontested. And we'll see if they opt for that. Of course, Galio is on reset, and he might just opt to TP because of how annoying Anivia is with his R. You can just shove the wave instantly and go on through. You can see Olaf already moving towards this bottom side, just kind of walking through the lane, possibly looking for a gank or some priority to come out. It looks like Galio not actually opting to use his CP, so now PK denied. Walking through, Physics possibly able to find him, and JoshyBot is kind of the target, kind of stuck in this river, but Physics is able to help him out. JoshyBot just kind of walking away now, and man, so much tension being put up towards this bot side, but no real fights, a lot of calmness, and a lot of super chill play. I mean, now finally this dragon will be started up, although he is on a ward, so we'll see. The question mark pings are coming down, but with Kaisa on reset, there's just no way that this is going to be contested. I mean, Gragas is also on the reset, so the steal is pretty much impossible unless JoshyBot wants to find some sort of a Q, but it's going to be an easy secure for PK denied. And
oh boy.
Oh
Whoa.
boy.
Parsing's buggy. Sorry, keep going.
All right. But yeah, I mean, solid. I mean, picking up this first dragon, and I think it was a little bit more delayed than it needed to be, but overall clean play. Nobody really wanting to go too crazy with their fighting. So
I think one of the biggest things about Olaf is you're looking at him full clear. You're looking at him get strong in order to do the first Drake, right? I feel like that's very characteristic of like a champion like Olaf, especially against junglers like Greg. It's not really being able to contest him early, so it's very solid pickup and like on pace for Team Bun here.
yeah, definitely. And you can see, I mean, no real big CS advantages coming out from anyone. Everyone's just kind of playing their own game and being happy to do so. So, I think the next big thing might be this Herald, and we can see Olaf moving towards it now. So they might want to look for it. You talked about this bully lane in the Kennen v Shen, and definitely at this point in the game, Rage of Elpis is having fun with that. But on the other side, I mean, JoshyBot is just kind of destroying that SG, and yeah, he does have no mana. Will he actually stay for this wave and maybe find an R? I mean, it will be pretty difficult with how little mana he's on, but you can see that Herald is getting started up for this Olaf now, and this is what Olaf is so good at doing, is just taking these objectives uncontested because no one really wants to fight the Olaf early.
Yeah, but Death SG kind of expected to lose the lane into Nivea. There's not really much he can do if you're not very familiar with the matchup, but him making sure to be strong enough, not feeding the Nivea too much in order to enable the Olaf and the Kennen to go in is super important.
Yeah, definitely. I think just trying to hold your own, keep the CS is totally fine, because it can be very difficult to try and wave clear against this Anivia. I mean, this Anivia is just going to press R on the wave, shove you in, and make it so you have a very difficult time trying to roam. Yeah, I don't know how late I am. Probably only a couple minutes. Shout out to Alex the Cutest and Zach Attack for the following. Really appreciate the support we have going on here. So definitely some hype for that. You see engage from Physics on this bottom side, and Bun Kenobi kind of getting caught out here, but the TP's actually pulled, and now XA is pulling up, and that's a lot of commitment. And fortunately, only a flash burn out of Bun Kenobi. On the other side, it's the Herald dropped, and 4 plates are going to go over. The TP's coming down. The Tonko's a little bit wide, and PK denied or just is just kind of able to walk out of that one. So a huge win for Bun here, because they were able to get so much on top side and pull so many resources bot side without getting with only losing the flash.
Yeah, so the Shen TP's down, the Nivea's CP's down, right? If I was on Bun's team, I would be thinking currently, what is going to be the next play? Okay, so Rage of Elpis has TP, Death SG has ultimate and TP. There's so many different options that they can choose to make here, and it's such a good position for Team Bun, right? SUU kind of found themselves in a really tight spot now that they've used a lot of their tools in order to get only Bun's flash, but
Yeah, I mean, flash forward though. They're looking for it. XA's now in it. The ultimate from Kaisa means that Bun Kenobi's dropping very low, and the casket will take down Bun Kenobi. He didn't have that flash from earlier, and Physics just realizes this flashes onto him. And with the repeat gank, they're able to pick up a kill for themselves. So now moving on to this next play, it does become a little bit more difficult, but I mean, these T-Boys are down for quite a long time. Dragon is now spawning in 58 seconds, so I think that's totally fine to look for, even if you feel like this gen is a little bit weaker than the Kaisa. The Olaf and the strength of the Kennen being pulled down is way too much to handle.
Yeah, keep in mind though, like these ultimates are rather long cooldowns, right? They won't be able to have access to these ultimates. They won't be able to have access to Jin's. Oh, hold on a second.
Well, here we go. It's the Ragnarok coming in. Alex just flashing, or Leland flashing away, but it's not going to matter because PK denied is the alpha man Olaf that you love to see. And 2 kills picked up. You talked about how much resources was spent there. Well, both flashes are down, and that's an easy pickup for them. And now they're just gonna walk into this turret. XA has to be careful because he also expended his flash in the last fight. So a dive is possible, a little bit difficult though, and they're gonna realize that, walk away. The Dragon is up in 4 seconds, and with their bot lane on reset, SRU has no way to contest this.
Yeah, and very, very good pickup for Team Bun. Obviously Leland and Physic kind of overstayed their ground. They didn't really expect the Olaf to be down so early, but considering that they had just finished the play, there's not really any way to make any other play besides go home and hope you can fend off the Drake or potentially give it. But another second Drake goes over to PK denied, and the Rift on the Soul is the Cloud Drake. So ultimate cooldowns and move speed for the team that picks it up. It's gonna be very exciting to see, especially considering how ultimate dependent and explosive these team compositions are.
Yeah, really everyone it very much relies on these ultimate engages. I mean, already looking if they want to start dragon or stacking more dragons towards this soul and working towards that. Olaf does amazing with the soul because you just pop ult and you run down people faster than you ever could before. And of course Kennen also very beneficial when you have that. I mean, maybe one of the worst dragons you probably like to see a mountain dragon come out, because mountain dragon can be so difficult to try and take down these carries like Olaf and Galio when you have that soul. So but still, Cloud Dragon I think does have some benefits for them, and they want to look towards that and try to force some fights early with their early lead on this Olaf. I think that it'll be pretty beneficial for them.
Yeah, they keep want to press their lead because if the game ends up too long, you get the strength of Anivia and Kaisa, something you have to worry about, and having Pigas on Shen, right, and XA on Gragas being able to peel for them, so it makes it really hard in the late game for them to do anything. And I'm kind of excited to see how Team Bun uses their lead from here, right? What kind of plays they're going to be trying to make, which side of the map they're going to be playing for. And I want to see, both teams have been playing it pretty slow so far. No one's doing anything extraordinarily risky, but I want to see what the next skirmish, what the next fight is going to look like, because as of right now, it looks like each of the kill from both of the kills on both teams have been kind of cheesy in a way. They've been kind of gank kills. They haven't been really due to a fight that's been breaking out, right? The first kill was a invade cheese for SEU. The second one was kind of like a gank thing from Gragas. And on the flip side, an engagement happening here.
Yeah, the ultimate from Jin able to find a decent bit of damage. The Shen ulti does come down, and Leland is huge. It's just picking up so many shields. PK denied able to pick up that one. Does he live? No, it's a shutdown over to Leland. And now with Shen being pulled down here, he's probably going to get bullied out a little bit. Physics on his way back from that one. But a really big shutdown going over to Leland, and he's going to be pretty happy to pick that one up. But and it seemed like just a little bit of healing was needed to keep PK denied alive.
And they're opening with the Jin ultimate. I kind of wanted to see Jin save his ultimate there, especially considering the fact that he does more damage to lower targets anyway. He could potentially secure 1 or 2 shots if he just waited for his W first off of the Olaf slow. But very well played from Leland to stay alive as long as he could in order to pick up the shutdown onto PK Deny. So a lot of gold in his hands now.
Yeah, definitely. Although with that, with the Shen being pulled down, Rage was able to pick up his tower on the top side and already off to a pretty good start for him. You can see a slight CS lead coming through even with that lost, or even with that death that happened so early within the game. And you can see still though a lot of tension is being put towards the spot side. The ultimate is going to go wide from Physics, but he's going to be able to get that engage with the E, and now Bun Kenobi dropping way too low. The flash and the heal just come out too little too late. But Rage of Elpis with the TP down, he's trying to look for something, gets stunned up by Physics, but he's looking for more. I forget the storm of Maelstrom Storm, I don't know what it's called. Something coming out from Kennen. The stuns him up, and Leona gets taken down in trade, but a support for an AD carry can be a difficult trade to try and to measure out.
Yeah, I mean, Bun certainly stepping up too far and allowing Leona to combo him, although
well, they're looking for more, and it's the Ragnarok from PK Denied that takes down Leland, and I guess getting a little bit too comfortable with the position and just giving a kill right over. And all of the gold right now is in PK Denied's hands, and on this Olaf, it is your job to carry, to run down the AD carry, run down this Anivia. We'll see if he's able to do that. I think with Janna, he has a pretty good chance, especially when Galio and Kennen are just following him up on that dive. So we'll have to see how it comes out. I mean, 10 seconds until this next Cloud Dragon is up, and with how much control Bun has over this, over the like river and jungle, it's gonna be pretty hard for SU to try to find their way into it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very scary situation too, because these ultimates are coming up. Death SG and Bun and Hyminta still have their ultimates available. They could still make something happen here. Kennen's on his way down. They're
the TP is
from Anivia too.
Getting pulled, so I mean they're gonna be stuck in this choke a little bit, and if Joshi can find something, although he is knocked up, taunted up, and now Kennen's looking for the flash, and the ult comes down. Galio's now to follow up, and he's going to find a 3-man ultimate. Anivia's going to be taken down by Death SG, and now Leland is just looking for the damage. 2 taunts come down. The cask is going to explode the fight, but Leland is right over. Double kill for Death SG, and they are just running for their lives. Leland forced the flash away, and the Ragnarok is going to try and follow him down. Rage Developer is chasing the W from Jin. Proccing the Dark Harvest, looking for more. The taunt coming out from Piguez, but it's not enough. Bun Kenobi's gonna pick up that one. Does SG? No, he is flashing away the heal. That is a huge team fight win for Bun, and they're going to move their eyes to the 3rd dragon of the game. And with that kind of a team fight win, you have the game in your hands to win it all.
That's insane! The initiation from Death SG to get straight onto the Anivia. Anivia can't use her ultimate in that situation, and immediately followed up by PK Denied at Rage of Elpis. Them slowing and stunning them for so long allowed Death SG to recast his ultimate. I mean, look at this player. He's insane. Such a huge initiation. He's locks them for so long, and Kaisa just can't do any damage at all. Has to space out first. Anivia just dies in the egg, and nobody else can do anything. Gragas can only try to push everybody away, but there's so much damage. Such well-timed CC from Team 4 Bun. Or 5 Bun. Look at how many buns are in there.
4 buns. 4
buns. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about how, like, even if you're getting bullied out as this Galio into the Anivia matchup, it doesn't matter because of how much utility you can bring to these team fights, and we really saw it happen within that one. We saw him just instantly get on the Anivia, shut him down, and the guy was stuck in egg for the whole team fight, and he got taken down anyways. So a huge team fight win for them. 3rd dragon, and now looking towards that soul, although Baron is definitely a possibility, and I would almost recommend fighting for that early because of how strong they are.
He just steals the grab.
I mean, PK Denied just happy to take that one over for himself.
I don't know, it's like Anivia and Gragas were like fighting over, who to give it to. Anivia was saying you take it, and Gragas was saying, nah, you're gonna carry it in the end. It's just like they kind of walked away. Did they think the burn on the smite item and the Leanders was gonna take it?
Yeah, I mean, nice guys finish last. That's what they always say. So
yeah, I mean,
you just gotta be a mean guy in there and just take the credit for yourself. Honestly,
the nice guys.
Oh, look at this. I mean, Physics is in the position, but the E does not land. The ultimate solar flare looking for it. Physics is just walking forward here still, but Kenobi turning around. Leland with the ultimate forward isn't able to find anything, and they're just gonna walk out of that one. A unfortunate miss on that E from Physics means that they lose out on that kill because Unkenobi didn't have the flash available, so it could have been very deadly for him.
One thing I do want to say is, in the lower Azure League division, we tend to see players, overcommit abilities to save their teammates. But in this case, both teams very careful not to overcommit with their abilities too far. I mean, they were fishing with Physics' ult, but nobody really committed too hard to try to find the kill, and simultaneously, Death SG not really looking to ult until it's
Oh, look
required.
at this.
Here we
Joshibot
go.
just getting completely destroyed. The Shen ulti and the flash pulled out, and it's so easy because this guy just walks up, says, hey, I'm Olaf and I'm going to hurt you, does half your HP, and you pull 2 resources and you just walk out for free.
I mean, just so much damage from PK Denied forcing. I think. Oh! Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh, I'm having
That
a
guy's
cough
chill.
attack, but I don't know what just happened. That guy got destroyed.
Alright, the guy doesn't have Collector, but is actually able to shoot him from that high?
I don't know, man. Yeah,
mean,
we need to replay on that
wait.
one because I just want to see this guy.
That makes no sense. I've never seen an ult kill from somebody from that high before. I mean, okay, Jin just hit level 11 though.
All right,
Hmm,
let's see. I mean,
guess it's
Joshibot
good
is
level
pretty
11.
low. I mean, I don't know, man. I've seen someone die from a 4-shot from like that. So.
Did Janna shield the Jin?
Oh
so
my
she get
gosh! It was
more
just a
AD?
single ult shot from the Fog of War.
Yeah. What do you do there?
I don't know. You just get out and say there's no way I'm defending that tower, and we just you just leave it at that.
Huh, interesting, but
Well, back to live. I guess okay, not a lot of vision on Baron, but it seems like Button not looking for it just quite yet. They're gonna take their resets first. I mean, you talked about the Collector finally is finished up. Both the Gore Drinker and the Sterax available for this Olaf. I mean, he is massive within this fight. Looking on the other
55
side, I mean,
seconds to Drake.
you have Kraken Slayer and Leandries to try and burn through some of this front line. But no Grievous Wounds have been pulled out yet, so this Olaf is going to be a monster and a force to be reckoned with for sure.
The strategy is have Shen taunt the Olaf so he hits him, and just pray he doesn't ult. That's how they're gonna play Grievous Wounds, I think.
Well, when you're praying that that's gonna happen.
Oh my.
Okay, I mean Pigez is just kind of in the middle of 4 members, so he's gonna have to just walk out of that one. The Drake is now spawning 15 seconds. You can see all 5 members are just standing in the river ready for it when it
Yeah.
spawns. And
Rage of
I mean-
Valtis and Death SG are on opposite ends. They both are kind of looking for a flank. Waiting to
yeah,
see.
I
I
mean,
think
with
they're
the
gonna
Drake
play
now
for
spawning up.
Steal. Oh,
Oh,
the
they're looking
Anivia?
for that engage onto the Nivea once again. Joshibot getting taken very low already within the beginning of this fight.
Okay.
He's in the egg already. Now looking for the re-engage. The slicing maelstrom is huge, and Rage of Elvis able to take down Joshibot. Now going Zanya's XA is going to be taken down right after its 3 clean kills over to Bun Team. And it seems like SUU just doesn't know how to respond at this point with how much gold down they are. It's impossible to find your way into the fight. The Cloud Soul will be given over to Bun. And now with that, it seems like they're going to move themselves towards this bot side and possibly look for even more gold, trying to pick down this Kaisa and the second tower.
I mean, just the amount of go buttons that Team Bun has is just insane. They're using it so well. They're choking out vision. They're clearing every way that SUU has to spot out some of these flankers, and they're patiently waiting. They're looking for their opportunity for somebody like Joshibot to push up too far, because obviously these players are kind of short range a little bit. And ultimate onto the other side of the map.
She's looking for it, and oh my gosh, look at this guy. He just one-shots a Leland out of nowhere. And with that, I mean, I guess you commit a null for a kill just kind of out of nowhere, and they're just going to walk away from that one. So turret getting taken down on this bot side. We expect probably this mid lane turret to fall. Just the minions, if nothing else, which is totally fine because you have so much strength on this team. Losing this outer tower is not going to matter too much. And I assume with all of these resets coming out, they're all going to move towards this top side, look to pressure this Baron. And as long as it can control the chokes, it's impossible for SUU to find themselves in, because the same thing is going to happen exactly like last time. Galio just finding these engages onto the Anivia. There's no way to stop that. No way to stop it after you're taunted down, and when you're in egg, you're just getting focused down.
Yeah, it's unreal. They're using their go buttons to just get such enormous leads from potentially like nowhere. I mean, off of the first one, it was very impressive because they weren't too far ahead. Everyone was playing so slow, but Death SG just out of nowhere, just being able to engage and pick off people like that, just gave them this huge lead. 7,000 gold is what separates these two teams right now, and it's looking very very dire for SUU. They're hoping, they're putting all their fruits in this late game basket now. They're making sure that they can do everything to not lose, because if as long as Anivia and Kaisa get the skill, it's gonna be kind of decent. But with the amount of engage and Cloud Soul being present, it's gonna be really hard.
Well, Death SG is just in the middle of two, but seems like it does not matter. Rage of Velp is looking for something, only able to find one in the ultimate, and XH finding a pretty big ultimate on the backside. You can see Leland diving in, but Kenobi trying to get away from that one, and Rage of Velp is getting taken down. But look at this, Ragnarok on the PK denied. He is just running as fast as a race car, man. This guy is tearing up everyone. Leland getting taken down by Bun Kenobi on the other side, and with that, 4 kills down. They're going to easily take up this Baron. Pretty easy fight for them to happen. I mean, even though Death SG is just getting engaged on, he is so tanky, does so much damage, and easily they're able to take up a team fight win. And now this is the Soul, this is going to be the Baron, and at this point, you really just have to crack the base and take this game to a win.
Yeah, almost 10,000 gold is what separates these two teams, and it's gonna be super hard for anyone on SEU to find a way back into the game, because as long as 4Bun just spreads out, they can essentially close out this game without any any contesting from SEU. I mean, they're just so strong with Cloud Drake. They're just able to push through so fast, and I think the only hope left for SUU is hoping the game goes on long enough that they don't lose long enough in order to potentially find some way to pick any member of Team Bun and somehow, some way, get to the Elder Drake. Although the Elder Drake is only 2.33 minutes away, that's so much time for Team Bun to find ways to try to take out the rest of the base from SEU, and I don't think the Elder Dragon response is very realistic unless Team Bun continues to skirmish around the jungle, kind of like this.
Yeah, Bun just kind of walking through and trying to find anything he can. You see Joshy bot a little bit far forward, but with the ultimate kind of stopping Bun in their path. But you can see how much control is coming down. BK denied just kind of walking up, burning up these middle lane creeps, and XA looking for something, but a Gale Force able to dodge away from that one. Bun Kenobi's able to flash away to get himself to safety, but look on this bottom side of the fight. BK denied is going in on 3 and just tearing through the enemies. Leland getting taken down very low. Physics is super low, and he's gonna drop down to Bun Kenobi. He picks himself up a double. PK denied takes down a Leland, and it's going to be 4 kills over. Joshy bot the last member alive, and with this, it might be the end of the game. All the pings are coming down onto this middle inhibitor, and I don't know how an Anivia is able to stall out 4 members against the Baron minions. With 20 seconds on the clock for all of the members, and the taunt barely lands. He's taken down. The egg is not going to be enough to save him. A kill over to Bun Kenobi to end this one off. It is the ace. It is the Nexus win, and the first game of the Azure League goes over to Team Bun.
Yeah, I mean, first blood of the entire season goes to Team Bun. They draw it for themselves, but in very impressive fashion too. These players are very new to the TLE scene. They haven't really been here before, but they've certainly shown their presence today with how dominating they made this performance look.
Yeah, definitely. I think that both teams played it very slow in the beginning, and I think a couple mistakes coming out from everyone, which is something that is expected to happen no matter what the teams are. But in the end, they found a very solid team fights, constantly shutting down this Anivia, and Kaisa really found no way in because of how strong this Olaf was. And so gotta hand it to this team. They had an amazing game, and that type of momentum feels really good, especially starting out, and I expect to see that coming out. And on the same side, I think that losing a first game can feel pretty bad, but you're able to analyze your mistakes and move on. It's a long league, and it's a long time to play, and a lot of time to fix your mistakes.
Yeah, sometimes the thing you might need the most at the beginning of the season is a wake-up call, right? It's better to realize you're making mistakes early in the season, and start working on fixing them instead of feeling overconfident from pulling so many wins throughout the beginning of the TLE season. Oftentimes, you see that the teams that perform the worst early on in the season end up making it really far into playoffs. So I can't wait to see what SUU does to change up their gameplay in order to make it further on in the season. But nonetheless, stunning performance so far from Team 4 Bun. Right, they played so well. They obviously there were some unnecessary deaths in the beginning, but they managed to capitalize on the overstaying of SEU and use their gold buttons to find themselves a huge advantage on these Drake team fights.
For sure. And sorry, I was gonna say something, but I do want to see if we can pull in someone from Quad Bun to hop in for an interview. If anyone from Quad Bun is watching, please let me know if you would like to hop in for an interview. Henry, I know you're obviously the coach of their team, so if you know of anyone that would want to join us for an interview, let me know and add them to this chat, and then we'll ask them a few questions, talk to them about the game a little bit.
Yeah, I think they should decide among themselves if they do want to interview. I know
All
a
right.
lot of talkative players, so.
Well, while we're figuring out who we want to interview, I want to talk about a point that Henry was talking about a little bit during the game, saying how a lot of teams, I forgot exactly what you were saying, but you're saying how like they sometimes commit too many resources and they might like use too much to save a teammate when they maybe should just let it go or something, and like
Yeah.
sometimes lower ranked teams might not think about their actions before they actually go and do things. And I actually think that this game, like, although this is technically the lower league, like both these teams seemed very disciplined. They seemed like they were thinking through their decisions. They were thinking about what they want to do, when they want to do it, and they were acting on it too. Like I by no means did I think that we were watching the lower league. Like this could have been the upper league by any means. I thought it was really impressive that we saw, like, for the first game of the season, that we saw two teams who definitely thought about their action plan. They didn't just play this on autopilot or anything like that, which we definitely do see a lot of the times in this level of play.
Yeah,
Even the higher level of play.
Yeah, in Obsidian League even you see some like crazy fiesta kind of games where both of the teams are making some very strange mistakes, overcommitting for strange amounts, and both teams are just so disciplined, and they're very cautious in their gameplay too. It's very uncharacteristic of something you'd expect from a lower division team, but nonetheless, I think that's a very very good sign, right? It means the bar has been set. The level of play is a lot higher than a lot of people would expect it to be, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season would look like. And I'm being informed that their 80 carry wants to.
All right. Well, I know you're friends with them, so go ahead, add them to the Discord call, and then we'll get them in here.
I mean,
Okay.
it is Bun Kenobi on Team Quad Bun.
Bun
with
Kenobi.
The tag Bun. So I mean, you have to expect it.
Also, before we hop into this interview, I do just want to shout out a few people that followed during the game. Kathy Owens, first of all, thank you so much. Joe Mamas Now Maha. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Thank you so much for the follow, though. Keegan's SNH, thank you so much. And TKO 2011, thank you so much for the follow. We're going to see if we can get these. Is this going to work? Ayo, the names don't line up, but we're all set.
Mine does. Mine does.
Is this Bun Kenobi in here?
Yes.
Hey, how's it going?
Going good.
How you feeling after game 1 in TLE, first game of the season? You took the win.
It was definitely a shaky start. A lot of us going into this, we're all casual. No one's like trying to climb all the way to the top. So going into this was a bit shaky. Our coach dropped a lot of knowledge on us that we weren't expecting, but I think overall we played it pretty well. We took his advice and we controlled the map as he told us to, and we were setting up for drag. And honestly, they couldn't contest any drag at all, it seemed.
For sure. And so, like, you mentioned it briefly, but like going into this, you haven't really played too much competitive play, and I know Henry mentioned during Champions Select that you guys have played Clash a little bit. So, like, what made you guys want to take the next step in your competitive career?
Well, Clash is always fun. It's like a nice, like, competitive scene for. Well, it's mostly the rewards, right? You play Clash for the rewards, but there is some of the thrill to it because it's tournament style, and like a league style like this sounds really fun, recurring games and like knowing the other teams and seeing how they improve, and it just seems like an overall benefit for everyone that's a part of it.
For sure. So we have a question from Revenite. He said, "Can someone ask Bun his thoughts on ADC in season 11? Is it literally a dream come true?"
I mean, to be honest, I was still playing like season 10 meta. I was still trying to go Ezreal into every game, and I realized he's not synergizing with the items too well. And then I was shown the light of Kaisa, and let me just say, Kaisa can hard carry a game. She's an assassin built like an ADC.
All right, awesome.
Love
And
to hear it.
I got one more question for you. How is Dark Neuron's coaching or drafting? Either one.
I mean, it worked out well. There's nothing I can't say anything wrong about it because it's only worked so far. We'll see in the days to come, the games to come, see how it goes. But for now, it looks really promising.
You're
You
supposed
can
to.
hear the fear in his voice.
Yeah.
He's carefully not to say words.
No, I swear.
I was expecting some flame or something like that, but it's always good to hear some praise from your
I
coaches.
mean, he definitely tried to make our picks based on who we feel comfortable as. I think me playing Jin, I've never played Jin that much. I told him I could play it for fun. I didn't realize I'd actually be playing it. And I think our Kennen player wasn't exactly too comfortable with Kennen, but he pulled out really well. Beside the shaky start from his, first blood going straight to the Kaisa.
What's funny is before this match, we were expecting them to first pick Kaisa, right? Both of these players are Kaisa one-trick noobs, right? Me included, but Ben suggested that he could play Jin into it, and I was like, I don't see a lot of Jin games in your match history, so we opened up the custom game, and we played a 1v1, and he played it to my satisfaction. So
Thank you. Thank
it's good
you.
enough.
That's all I need.
I mean, he still
My
died.
coach's
but
approval. Well, yeah,
it was-
okay.
It was fine enough.
All right. Well, we are going to say goodbye to Bun Kenobi. Thank you so much for the interview. And when we do, we are going to hop into a quick 3-minute break before we get into game with the first Obsidian game of the season, where we will watch USM Esports face off against Southern Utah University A this time. So we'll be right back in 3 minutes. Hang tight, and we'll see you soon. Alrighty, we are back into the Obsidian League. As I mentioned earlier, the Obsidian League is the Platinum and above league where we have quite a few new teams. We do have some familiar faces such as One Way Traffic and Immortal Lotus, as well as Southern Utah University. I think they've changed out some of their players, but we will see some familiar names, especially on the Rift tonight. But we do have Southern Utah University facing off against a brand new team to the league, which is USM Eagle Esports Black, also just known as like USM. That totally works. Have you guys been looking at their op.ggs by any chance?
I just pulled it up.
All right.
So you already know.
So
You wanna
let's.
DM me the link.
Oh yeah, no, I got you.
I got you. Oh, just kidding.
No, Brendan, you got it.
Okay, I got you.
Well, we're gonna let these casters take like 30 seconds to do some in-depth analysis on these teams. They are going to be looking at their champion pools, their ranks,
Whatever else like
their
that.
flex rank.
Okay, of course.
Yeah, but it's always fun kind of looking at these teams and seeing what they play, what we're kind of going to be expecting. Sometimes it's cool to see like, oh, like this person's a Teemo one trick, sick, and then Teemo that's banned. Like I don't know, something like that.
Yep.
Are
Go.
these Teriyaki
Alright.
Bowl players? I recognize them from somewhere.
So okay,
Yeah, SUU did play Teriyaki.
so
Bowl.
I think SUU was the team in Teriyaki Bowl where everyone slept on them. I think because their ranks weren't like the highest in the Teriyaki Bowl necessarily, and they came in and just surprised everyone. I don't think they got past the quarterfinals though because they played. Was it? I think it was the team that won in the end. Untitled team won. Don't quote me on
Oh.
that. Was
Okay,
it?
well, you can't blame anyone for losing.
Yeah, I
in
mean, like
second.
they came and they definitely put up a good fight. It's just unfortunately, the other team was just really really good. But they were killing it, especially in the group stage. So I think it'll be really cool to see them in this league where I think they have a definite chance of topping their group. And as we get ready for it, we are going to hop right into the champion select, where we will, watch them pick.
I
the
have band
champions.
predictions.
What?
Wait, which team is Cue Ball James on?
T-Ball James is on USM Esports Black.
Their team is going to ban Jarvan, Lucian, Malphite, Zoe, Yorick. I don't know in what order, but that will happen. And the other bans will be Victor and Gnar. I don't know what else they'll ban though. But literally, I'm looking at these OP.GGs and everyone is a one trick. I love to see that. I love to see people perfecting one champion.
Yeah, I see a lot of one tricking. I mean, I see Victor down the board for the last 20 games by Static Black Media. I see a lot of Gnar coming out from Kitty in the top lane. I mean, of course, we got some Camille in there too, but both really, really strong picks. So I'm interested to see how these bans go because I'm expecting a lot of targeted stuff coming down.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to say the least. I can't wait to see what kind of. There's the Victor ban. Oh, the Echo ban.
Okay.
I'm already wrong.
Yeah, I think. Okay, I mean, I think it's understandable you were wrong because this guy is has not played a lot of games recently, but he does have a crazy Echo win rate. I mean, out of the 3 games, at a massive 100% win rate and 7.5 KDA. So understandable to take that one away. And I guess Zed is also being taken out. And that one I'm a little bit more confused about because I don't see a lot of Zed games out of anyone on.
There's a chance that these players could have scrimmed before too. But also, I mean, like, if you're a Zoe one trick and you see like Zed, like, would you ban Zed if you saw that?
Yes, probably you're scared of Zed if you're a Zoe one trick.
Yeah. Wait, did the Zoe one trick ban Zed? No.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I would say yes.
Yes.
I'm
Probably,
confused.
especially at this level of
Sorry,
play.
I was
it
getting
becomes
the team switch for a second. I thought I had them right first, but then I switched them. And then now I'm back. Brain bad. My brain.
Wait, you are right. Wait, no, the Zoe one trick is on the team that bans Zed.
Oh, so I was right
Or
the
wait, no,
second
it's
time.
not on the.
No.
It's not on the team that bans it.
Okay.
Okay,
Zoe.
is Jackie the Zoe one trick?
Yeah, no. Kageosaurus.
Jaeosaurus is the
Wait, but
So,
Zoe. So the other team bans it.
although we have to expect he's probably
Support.
not going to play Zoe because he is a support player. So
Ah, right. So
there you go,
Jackie
there's
is.
that.
Oh, there we go. That makes a lot more sense now. Jackie does not play mid lane. The only champion he plays is Victor and Zed. And
So why'd they ban
banned
Victor?
their own Victor.
why'd they
Well,
ban
because they had to
Because
ban Victor because
The other
Static
guy,
Black Media is a 100% Victor player.
Oh my god.
yeah, this guy has played nothing but Victor.
Yo, this is
New teams. It's difficult to get used to.
oh
I'm literally trolling.
Okay,
I don't know.
the Victor ban makes sense because Victor is still, I think, still pretty strong in the meta right now, especially here in Utah. I don't know why Utah loves Victor so much, but you know, USM has blue side, so if they wanted, they could save a ban and like get a priority pick. Like they can kill 2 Thunderbirds with 1 stone, right?
oh shit.
Victor. So I know the Victor ban makes sense from Thunderbird Esports. They'd rather not have to deal with the Platinum 2-1 trick. Right?
That was the smoothest pun ever.
Yeah, that was clean. That was clean.
Thank you.
Well, there's Kaisa picked up. I think understandable to pick up the Graves. Taking it
Oh.
away from the enemy jungler and also taking it themselves. So, first pick priority on that. But they're trading the Rel Kaisa bot lane for Ezreal Karma. It seems like so a very go down and slit the throats of your enemy versus hey, I'm Ezreal and Karma and we're gonna long range run away from you.
I'm immediately biased to any team that picks Kai'Sa. I love that champ. I love playing it. I love watching it. And so already Thunderbird Esports has my like thumbs up, right? But I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about Karma Ezreal, specifically Narelle Kai'Sa. I mean, you have to be really, really careful around the Rel as Ezreal Karma, right? Because if you get into poke range as Karma, you're probably in range to get killed by the Rel. And Kai'Sa just has a lot of burst to finish that player off. But if Rel can't really find anything / doesn't want to, which sometimes we see a lot in in games like these, right? Is engage supports being very hesitant just because then maybe Ezreal and Karma do have a chance to survive, because it's gonna be really annoying to play Rel if you have to deal with Karma in a team fight, right? But other than that, I think Thunderbird Esports' ball lane is
So
surely gonna massacre the Ezreal Karma.
okay, I'm just looking at
Oh my gosh! More gifted subs coming out.
Revenite.
Revenite. This guy's crazy. This guy is crazy.
Revenite's popping off. All right, so I just want to like shout out the 5 people who now have subs. There's Versace Hayden, Crabo Babo,
Crabo-abo.
Crabo-abo. Do you you must know them. Lol Drakar, the infamous Drakar, the thickest biscuit. I like that. I like that name a lot. And Physics, obviously.
Where's my gifted sub, Matt? No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, so when you gift subs, do you choose or is it random?
No, you can do random or choose. But yeah, if you do the random, it'll do like people watching the stream.
Let me see. My phone's dead right now, so I can't authenticate my. Okay, never mind. It's charged, but now I'm turning it on. So I'm gonna verify real quick my login so I can use my Prime sub.
All right, but
One sec.
looking at Thunderbird Esports and what you know about their OP.GGs, does it look like they're in order?
Yes.
I think
yes.
Flipbaker and CJosaurus, they might be switched.
Well, no, Flip.
Flip
And
Baker.
CJosaurus.
Flip Baker's an 80 carry.
Yeah, Flipbaker is an 80 carry, and CJosaurus is, I guess, a mid lane but I'm assuming that Jackie's actually going to take mid lane because he plays mid lane secondary, and CJosaurus
Yeah, nobody plays
is a support
support.
secondary.
So the only reason I say that is just I'm going off of what they filled out in their registration form, and CJosaurus was listed as ADC while Flipbaker was listed as a
I
support.
think it switched last second because it looks like Flip Baker was
Oh.
supposed to play support originally because they are a support player, But this guy has a lot of Lucian games played recently, so maybe he's just more comfortable on AD carry now.
Are they just sitting like this? What? No way.
I don't know. CJ Osoris is a Zoe one trick, and Flip Baker does have Religan. This might be Kate. We remember
Wait.
when we saw I don't know the team. It was HVS, right? There was like the multi lane swap. Four people can play every single role in the game.
Mm-hmm.
This might be they might be pulling it out.
I mean, they should have everything locked in by 20 seconds. So, well, hopefully they don't switch at last moment.
Yeah,
It's actually I think it's a 3-way swap.
Oh, okay, all right, hold up. Quick update. Automatic LOL just followed. Thank you so much. 7 a.m. Slurpee just followed. If Slurps were here, he would be proud. And then Tristan P has gifted a sub to Zack Attack. So welcome to the sub club, Zack Attack and Tristan P. Thank you so much. Permafreeze has also followed. Thank you everyone for all of these wonderful follows. We appreciate all of the support that you have been giving us.
So much support.
I wonder what TLE does with this money
today.
That's classified. Tristan VP or Tristan P has also followed. Thank you so much, Tristan P.
He has like a shell account in like some offshore country.
I'm actually gonna be away for the next couple of weeks. I'll be in the Bahamas for a little bit. So that's all money from TLE. Yeah.
Funding Dan's amazing Bahama trip. You gotta love it.
I mean, every dollar you send goes to Dan's yacht.
Yeah, exactly. all subscribers get to join the yacht.
Yo,
I'm gonna try to pay for the yacht
no.
if Twitch will let me sign in.
Oh yeah. Yo, that'd be nuts.
Dude, I hate this like two-factor thing. It's so strange.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the team comps
Let's
because
do it.
I
Let's
feel
do
like
it.
that's necessary. USM is a very, very long-range peel back and try to poke out the enemy. I mean, Karma Ezreal and Ziggs kind of just portray that ideal very well. Whereas I see a lot of like on Thunderbird Esports, it's like, let's go in. I got the Horn. I got the sleep from Lilia. I got the dive in from Rel and Kaisa. And of course, I mean, Zoe's kind of just there to find a sleep, find a poke. We got another subscribe from Ziola Trey. Did I get that? I don't know. Zialo Trey.
Zealot Ray, I think.
Okay, that's probably
Or
correct.
is it pronounced Zealot? Zealot? I have no idea.
Zealot Ray.
Zelot. I always thought it was Zelot as a kid, but
Zealot?
I think it's Zelo actually.
Zillow.
I just put that.
Wait,
Zelo.
here, let me Google this.
I think it's.
All right, Miss Google lady. It's Zealot.
But I mean, sorry to interrupt you, Brandon. But like on a serious note,
No, you're good.
all of the money from the subs and everything, obviously, like some of it does go to Twitch, unfortunately. But as you get more subs, as you get more followers, we're able to get more sponsors. We're able to grow more, create better infrastructure for the leagues. As many of you know, like right now, it's basically like everyone here at TLE, we do this on a volunteer basis. We're having fun. We're providing a fun area for people to compete, have fun, cast, be part of the production team. Whatever it is, we want to make sure people are having fun. The more we grow, the more we get to expand, the more opportunities we can provide for everyone, whether it's playing, broadcasting, streaming, whatever it is. So we really appreciate each and every follow, each and every sub. And speaking of that, we have one more coming up before the game starts. That is De Pelicano.
I would say so. It's like the Pelican. No.
De Pelican 05. Something like that.
We're so bad at these names.
All right. Well, we're hopping in the game. So let's do it.
Three-way swap, by the way.
Yeah. It is the three-way swap. I was not really expecting that, but I guess it's possible. Now, I mean, this might be like they were just not in order, but quite honestly, I think it's probably more likely a swap.
My theory is they were in order, but with the knowledge that you can abuse this, I guess, lack of support player Or it's like a lack of support main, but like an abundance of support secondaries, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
Flip Baker, Geosaurus. Oh my, invade already.
Okay, well here's another 5-man invade from the other team on the opposite side of the map this time. The bubble is not able to connect.
Oh,
You hate to see
Manifold
that one.
Man.
And you get some gold in repercussion, or I guess you get some gold as compensation for
Oh,
being startled
almost
so quickly.
got
Static
another
not able to pick
Manifold.
up a mana flow of his own. You hate to see that one. But nothing too crazy. Not a first blood like we saw last game. So
Yeah, I
but
think.
still some fun stuff going down.
Yeah, I think the secret is I hear a lot of people like pros, coaches, even here in Utah, like players and coaches here in Utah say that if you're not doing anything level one, right? If both teams are doing something level one, then one of the teams is griefing, right? If your level one is stronger than the enemy's level one, then there's no reason for you to not try something, if that makes sense. Like,
Mm-hmm.
certainly try to find a ward or an invade. And I think good decision from SUU to go and invade, try to find something. But obviously, the other team, I forgot what their name is.
Okay, the
U of
bubble.
M, right?
USM.
USM certainly found the upper hand on that because they managed to find a ward on the red buff, and obviously, the GG Easy Manifold Band, Frostbang, right? It's like the meme. But nothing too crazy so far.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit of trading coming out in this mid lane. Both of them dropping a little bit low. But yeah, nothing too crazy coming out. It was a blue start from Lilia, which we usually do not see, but that's kind of the route that they have decided to go, moving towards top side, as the Graves is going to be moving towards this bottom side, and we'll see if Q Ball wants to put some pressure down on this bot lane, because quite obviously we can already see the push and damage advantage is going to go over to this Kaiser Rail because of well, they kind of just have that ability to go in and threaten the Ezreal and Karma early.
I think it's kind of both teams kind of want to keep the lane on red sides, side of the map, because I think Ezreal and Karma really benefit off of using the range, right? However, Rel and Kaisa want certainly to be on the closer to their turn in order to have an opportunity to run them down. But I think the Ezreal and Karma are making sure to play it safe. But I certainly want to see this Ezreal Karma play a little bit more aggressively. Being able to push the enemy in, having the minion advantage means that you can poke Rel and Kaisa out, especially considering that you outrange them both, right? But it's also nice to see Ezreal playing it very safe and very cautiously.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can already see moving towards this bottom crab as both junglers were there. I mean, near side, I mean, Kajayo has to get himself out of that one, but his jungler is there for the support. King of Huaji trying to find the damage onto him. Q-Ball is able to flash out to safety in the flash. Not able to actually quite find it, and it's the roam from bottom lane that picks that one up. Jackie with the Prey Seeker, I think that is called the W, that is able to pick up that one. And oh my gosh, Jono just has to flash out of the W from Rel, so a huge pickup for SUU already.
Yeah, they took advantage of the fact that Graves kind of likes AD matchups. You can see how much damage he takes early on in the fight. He just so chunked because his E only grants armor, no MR. So having Lily and Zoe abuse the fact that they can just put so much damage and make use of the fact that Graves essentially doesn't have like an E passive. Super nice there, but Kaisa being able to use her Void Seeker to finish off, making sure that she keeps herself, ahead of the curve in this bottom lane. I'm also being notified that my Prime sub is available in like a week, so I can't, fortunately, can't do that right now.
You hate to hear it, but I mean, we'll get it in eventually. But
I feel like I didn't use it last month, but I guess I did.
well, I mean, already a very strong start coming out for SUU. I was very interested to see actually that the Lilia did, even though pathing was towards top side, ended up opting to go back down for the bottom crab, which I think was a smart decision because of how much priority their bot lane had, and we can see it paid off very well for them. And now as both junglers are now on the opposite side of the map for sure, we'll see if anything comes out. Top lane is probably the target for Lily if she wants to look for something. If not, a reset is totally fine here. Just spend some of the gold that you got out. But both the junglers are very, very good at power farming and clearing super fast. So
Yeah.
ganks are not super necessary.
I think a lot of jungle right now is kind of dominated by champions that can farm, very effectively and can take the gold lead that they get if they're against like a non-farming jungler. Champions like Kayn, Olaf, Lilia, Graves, they're all really strong because of their ability to clear very fast and put some pressure on the side of the map that they're on in order to find themselves always ahead of the enemy jungler.
Yeah, now Cue Ball kind of moving into here. The ward does mean that he gets spotted out, and they're going to see him on that recall. And Jackie just playing very controlled, just waiting for this wave to come into him. No reason to do anything too crazy. But now with Cue Ball backed and him having the knowledge of that, you can expect him to move towards his top side. And this Kaisa Rel should have a decent bit of time to try and get down some pressure on this enemy bot lane. You can see if King of Hwaji just kind of moving in towards this middle lane and kind of just putting the threat down on the Ziggs. Finds the E, the bowling ball as they call it, and the ultimate comes out from Static. Just try and clear out this wave and pick up as much CS as he can before he has to take this base. But with that, it's probably going to be a dragon pretty easily handed over. You can see Graves moving towards the top side, so no contest should come out here. And maybe they don't actually want to start up the dragon yet. I guess the bot lane is getting pushed in, so they're just going to look for this scuttle. But overall, it's nice to see that kind of pressure coming out from your jungler and getting a small incremental leads.
Yeah, certainly. It doesn't feel very good as Ziggs, especially considering that you've already blown a TP from the earlier play, being forced to both pull your jungler to help you farm and ult the wave, and conceding essentially full pressure of the map temporarily, allowing the enemy team to push in and essentially gather themselves before they start the first streak.
Yeah, and the first Drake will pretty handily go over to them. Jackie does cancel his back to try and help this out, which I saw a little bit, which is a little unfortunate because you'd rather just get that tempo and get back on the map as fast as you can, but overall it's not going to be too big of a deal. You can see Cue Ball making the right decision with his bot lane coming off of reset, not able to help him at that dragon, just goes towards the top side, starts farming that out. We'll see if he looks for anything more. It really does seem like top lane's just a couple of strong men hitting each other a little bit and nothing too crazy coming down. But that could all change if Cue Ball wants it to. You can see him stealing over this Lilia's red buff. So we might have to just see a map split, but I'm not sure if they have the vision that this is going down. They do have question mark pings over there, so I assume we'll probably see Lilia moving towards his or into Cue Ball's red side. But if he's able to get there fast enough, it could be difficult, and he might just lose out on some camps. So
yeah, and something that's really influential for why people pick farming junglers is being able to safely and quickly trade gold for the objective, right? Sometimes
you can see the engage here might be something to look at, and Kajayo is able to land a sleep, and a lot of damage going to come down. The flash is not available. Flashing forward, Kajayo picks that one up. Flip Baker's very low, though. He's able to get himself to safety. The Drowsy could come down by Lily any minute, but it's already Kitty taking down King of Hwaji, and now Kajayo is not in a place that he wants to be. Flashing away, but can he really do anything to get out of this one? He might be looking for the execute pretty soon, as he might call just the base here, but I'm not sure if that's the right play, man. You got to get out of there. You can see Faselig and Juno looking for that, and the tower's just gonna come down. Oh my god! Okay, I thought for a second that the auto might have come out by Giono, but I don't think he was prepared for that RN play from Zoe. So the execute comes down.
The turret shot actually almost laid enough that allowed Karma to get the kill, but USM strikes back, finally being able to find stuff on the map. But obviously the Zoe getting away kind of sucks, but getting this Mordekaiser further ahead of this. Oh,
the killer instinct going in. Jackie's looking for the kill onto Faselig, and with the heal, he's able to get himself to safety. And you can see how annoying it can be to try and find this Ezreal, especially when he's closer to his tower. The Arcane Shift pretty easily gets him to safety. So a trade of ultimate for some HP and a heal is not too bad. And you can see, even though he doesn't pick up the kill, the pressure coming down from this Kaisa, and he's farming quite well to try and find these engages. with this team in the mid game.
Already found himself on top of the Dirk and Noonquiver. Soon he'll just about be able to evolve his Q with the pickaxe and see all these items coming in from both teams. They're trying to head towards
King
the
of
spike.
Fwaji does have the ultimate, and with no flash on Ziggs, this is going to be a very easy pickup. King Hawaji just picks that one up for free. And you can see how devastating this combo can be, because when you have no flash as Ziggs, you're just going to easily run into the lane, find that sleep onto him, and he's just going to get completely demolished. So a well-played gank from King of Fwaji, already having a lot of influence on this early game, whereas the Scraves kind of unable to find the ganks as easily. And you can see already pulling this red buff down. Cue Ball is trying to find some contest, though the red buff does go over to King, so he's able to run out of that one with the Lily and move speed. You can see TP pulled in from the Ziggs, and unfortunately, no fight is going to be had, and King is just kind of walking away with that red buff for free.
Yeah, so far, King of Hawaji just being able to put so much pressure down, and if I was Cue Ball James, I'd be a little worried right now, because it seems like all these lanes are really hard to find anything in, and the only option he'd have is to just farm, but he's getting engaged on.
Yeah, I mean, he's forced to flash away from that one. Jono is here, though, so they possibly can't turn around. You can see the sleep is already devastating. Static is just taken down quite easily. King doesn't have his ultimate available, but a lot of pressure coming down. Faselic trying to find something to flash forward from Kajayo. He's looking for Jono. The Ignite is ticking.
Can he find
it?
got it.
It's going to be a killing spree for himself. And now Kitty is in the death realm with King. But you can see King is just running around. All four members now sitting on top. As soon as he comes out, it's Jackie picking up a kill for himself. And that is a huge, huge skirmish win for the side of SUU. Pulling down this Ornn means that the dragon will be very easily... Actually, I take that back. 30 seconds till this dragon comes up. But with that amount of gold, as long as you can find these resets early, I think that looking for this dragon on the next play is going to be very big, because of how much of a lead you're able to take up so far.
This next Cloud Drake is really going to help champions like Ornn, Lilia, Kai'Sa, and Rel be able to find a lot of playmaking opportunities, and that's what SUU want to do right now. They're invading their jungle, they're trying to find ganks with their ultimates. Even Jackie in his lane 2v2 is using his ultimate to find pressure. So this Cloud Drake, definitely a solid pickup for Team SUU, and Thunderbird Esports is definitely going to feel very good about picking up this Cloud Drake before in the event that they do it soon. But it looks like Cue Ball James is hovering the same side of the map. They're actually not quite ready to give over this Cloud Drake yet, with the ultimates almost back up for the side of Thunderbird Esports. I'd be very surprised if USM didn't just concede over this Drake.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with if you're sending your Mordekaiser top without the TP available, it means you're probably going to have to end up giving this dragon, especially when Master is just going to walk down and be happy to be the Ornn, the massive wall, and make it so there's no one able to walk in. And it is the Infernal Dragon, the Infernal Rift that will come down, and man, this thing is scary when it's on Zoe, because every single paddle star is just death waiting to happen, honestly. So we'll see if that comes down. I think a good response from USM taking this Herald into the top side to try and find a little bit of retaliation and make it so they get at least a little something for trading these two drags early.
Oh, almost big sleep. Almost fine.
Kajayo has to flash away from that one, but Phil Baker is dropping way too low. Faselig is able to pick up a return kill, and a little bit too deep from the side of SUU. Maybe getting a little too excited, trying to find some crazy picks. So unfortunately, he is going to be taken down. They really just have to play with how strong their carries are. It becomes pretty easy. Just don't overextend too much. Let Zoe and King, or let Zoe and Lilia just find the sleeps that they need. You can see already like huge amounts of damage coming down on Kitty. So already it's going to be the sleep. Oh, can the paddle star find it? No, he used it early. So unfortunately not for him. Everfrost is coming down. He doesn't have the flash available, but King is just so fast, just dodging out on everything. So fortunately, no one dies here, but with how many members are moving towards this mid lane turret, it should be a pretty easy pickup for SUU. And you can see how much pressure they have just finding Zoe sleep time after time, comboing it. Oh, we missed a 1v1 down in bot lane. I have to get a replay on that one.
Yeah. I mean, wow. I mean, I really like SUU's team composition here because they have so much poke from Zoe and even the Lilia, in order to chunk them out and force them to concede the turret. But in addition, Ornn, Lilia, Kaisa, and even Rel having the ability to engage while they're solo at the same time makes it so dangerous to stay around for anything else. And it's interesting watching SUU play their team composition this way, and it's very interesting here going back to see the 1v1 in the bot lane.
Yeah, so I assume it's the TP pull to, or no, he just walks down. The ultimate comes down to try and clear out this wave, but we'll see how this goes down. Jackie, you
I'm
can see it.
assuming he just gets chunked by an auto Q and just gets followed.
Auto Q. He's dropping pretty low, so Static probably feeling pretty good to take him down. He's so low. The heal comes out. The flash. Oh, turned it around with the ultimate and the damage. Wow, man.
Wow,
That's
actually not play.
so low, but yeah, a really big pickup for Jackie, and unfortunately for Static, that's his 5th death of the game so far. I mean, nothing seems to be really working out for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish that I didn't see the result of that. Like, if we were just watching the fight, that would have been very interesting to watch. I thought, I assume I would have thought that like, Ziggs had this for sure, and been surprised that
Sig comes out, Q ball. He does have Merc Tread, so he gets out of that one a little bit faster than usual.
I would have gone for that. Spicy Knight's ult to just follow anything. Who knows what the correct play was there. Safer ones for sure to not take it at all, but
yeah.
Q-Ball James still just constantly getting pressured out of his own jungle. Very difficult for him to kind of do anything on if he's on the same side that King of the Huaji or Jailsaurus is on. But Rift Herald started up now by SUU. Look to find ways to pressure and close out the game now with their 3,000 gold lead, but USM is not quite out of it yet. They still have some decent options for wave clearance scaling, but we'll have to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, I do think it can be pretty difficult to find the clear, especially when you have Herald and you have Zoe threatening bubbles and poke constantly. It can be very difficult, but I mean, when you have Ziggs just sitting in the back, you have Ezreal sitting in the back, just clearing out these waves, that's going to be definitely your biggest way to get back into this game. See, the sleep landed. Is he going to find the one-shot? Not quite. He does have the ability to keep himself alive with it, and the flash forward from Q-Ball. Not quite, but it's the ultimate shutdown going over to the Ziggs, and Static is going to be very happy with that one. And Kajao just getting a little too far forward, a little too confident, and with this Inferno Dragon coming up, that can be a very, very scary death. But they have to find some way to cancel it. Master is going to TP down with Mordekaiser still in top lane. It's up to him whether he wants to TP down, but it seems like they're just going to give this one up, actually. They don't want to take it. It is a 4v4, but with the Graves dead, okay, I was a little scared that that was going to be taken away, but third dragon over to SUU. So you got to hand it to him. Shout out quickly to I Beach Jesus. An interesting name, but thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate the support.
I like to, take time to appreciate the Ezreal build here. Oh,
Kaisa's in. It's the Gale Force. Oh wait, that was a flash actually to take him down, and fortunately he's able to get himself the safety. A little scary with Q ball there, but I mean, just more kills getting fed into the sky. So she is massive right now.
Static Black Media is always so close to his turret, but still too far up. It seems like he's just finding himself dead again and again, and finding the shutdown on his Zoe might feel good, but certainly struggling to find his place in the game so far. But one thing I was talking about earlier was the Ezreal build that's being picked up right now. It's a very interesting build. Ever since the new Essence Reaver buffs that change the amount of mana you get from proccing the passive, Ezreals have found themselves building Essence Reaver into Duskblade. The Sheen proc scales off with the amount of AD that you have, and the amount of AD you get from Essence Reaver and Duskblade really go hand in hand with the buffs that he also got from this last patch, changing his Q damage to 130% of his total AD. And you know, having Duskblade and having the Ezreal up, hitting that Q feels super, super good, and you don't have to sacrifice any lane pressure or any time that you need to scale the tiers. So I like that. I like to see that the Ezreal's, you know, keeping up with the meta and building some very interesting items. But I can't wait to see how, you know, this Ezreal's gonna pull himself into these team fights once he's completed his Cessblade, though.
I mean, yeah, quite honestly, I think that if you're looking for someone to be able to carry this game, it's probably your eyes are going over to Faselic on this Ezreal because of, I mean, he's the only guy. I mean, he's picked up one of the 3 kills on your team. He has he has been CSing quite well. I mean, compared to Kaisa and Rel being able to put you down so often. I mean, he's trying to keep himself up. I mean, there is Mordekaiser as well, but Mordekaiser seems to be getting negated a lot, and you can see Ardent Fight coming down. Jackie's picking up his 5th kill of the game. The TP from Kitty to try and find something, but he's just gonna get chunked out by the Paddle Star, and now Kajao moving towards his top side does spot Static on that ward, so will he be able to find it? Does have the flash available. It does go wide, but the bubble actually from over the wall, the flash to try and get himself in it. And oh my gosh, it is deadly, man. Kajao just styling with that kill, picking up his 4th of the game. And this is going to mean a Baron start for the side of SUU, and they're a very, very scary team to reckon with right now with how strong they are. And finding another bubble, is he able to find the Paddle Star, the ult, and not quite because the Merc Treads gets him out just a little too soon and didn't have the Paddle Star very early. So, but with that, the zone comes down. It's the Baron giving over to SUU. Already, this team has such a massive lead, nearly 6k gold, and not only that, but the Infernal Soul is up in a minute 30. They're able to, if they're able to crack some towers with this Baron, move over to the Infernal Soul, it's gonna be devastating because Kaisa and Zoe are just gonna one-shot your entire team.
I really think, you know, USM really does still have a way, or still had a way to get back into the game. As long as, you know, Ezreal gets his items and gets strong, and Graves keeps himself farmed up, and Mordekaiser can isolate the Ornn away from his ultimate, then they have a really good shot at this. However, giving up the Baron here and conceding pressure and priority for the Infernal Soul is going to really, really hurt in the short term here. And in the long run, you have to deal with the soul on these explosive players, right? It's gonna be super hard to find anything. And already,
oh my gosh, that is just disgusting, man.
Oh, okay. So much damage already.
That's not with the, even soul. That's soul. Not even an Infernal Soul. Like, I'm pretty sure Faselic is just instantly dead there if they have that soul. Yeah, we do have a question from Revidite in the chat, and you're probably more well versed to answer this than me. Kaisa, Kraken Slayer versus Gale Force. Why is it Kraken this game? I think, personally, just from my experience, I think Gale Force is probably better this game, but I can, I guess, sort of understand the Kraken if you want to just try and tear through the Mordekaiser and the Graves, but I just want to see it. I guess I have to hold that question for later because the flash in and the engage from Jackie means that he is going deep, but he's getting taken quite low, but now Kajao is moving towards Kitty. He's able to take down Flip Baker, and Jono is just dead, and Kajao Saurus is just tearing apart the backline to flash forward. You see on the top side, Jackie's actually going to get taken down by Master and, sorry, not Master, but the Mordekaiser, and you have to be careful because King of Hwaji seems like the next to fall. The flash away, oh my gosh, he's so low. It's a triple kill from Kajao. He's looking for more. It's the bubble. It's the Paddle Star not connecting, actually. Can he do it? It's a quadra kill. Okay, Kajao Saurus has an amazing team fight win. A little bit scary because Mordekaiser was just tearing apart the backline, but he finds an amazing play. It's another team fight win for SUU, and the Infernal Soul going handedly over to them, and it's going to be near impossible to try and take a win from off this team.
I think it starts off with Jackie looking to find an engage onto the backline. I forgot who he goes onto, but goes onto the Graves, finds himself a little too far back. The stun doesn't quite connect from the Rel. Chasing in kind of causes him to take so much damage here from the rest of the team, and you know, Flip Baker finds himself caught by the Mordekaiser, and there's not much that the Kaisa could do here being this strong. All he can do is run and hope for the best, but Geosaurus just kind of doing a lot of damage in short bursts and picking people one by one, and even still, King of the Hwaji buys enough time in the stopwatch for
somehow
the
this flash.
Yeah.
Oh!
Beautiful
it was so
flash.
Close.
Too. picking up the Gale Force from the Zoe to finish off the Mordekaiser and letting a bubble out of the Ziggs and finally finishing off with the empowered auto attack. But very interesting fight. You know, it looks scary at first for.
Okay, well, I mean, we're back and we're just one-shotting people because Kajayo is just way too strong. It's 2 kills very easily over to SUU, and this game seems to just be falling apart because, honestly, when Kajayo is just this confident and this strong, it's so hard to do anything against him. You can see he's already just running under the tower. It's a killer instinct into the backline for Jackie, and he's able to pick up 2, flashing forward. It's a double kill. Can it be a triple? Yes, it can. Each of these carries having their own styling for the time, and you can see they're just dancing on him. Jackie feeling confident after that play. It's a quadra kill for Kajayo, a triple for Jackie, and with that, I think it might just be the end of the game if they want to look for it here. The inhib will fall quite easily, and with Infernal Soul, Jono has to be very careful because a single Patastar could mean the death, and it is the Drowsy connected. Can Kitty block it for him? He can, but Kitty getting one shot himself. Jono flashing away. Kitty is now in with Flip Baker, but it's not going to matter. The Patastar on the backside. It's 2 kills very easily over. It's the ace, and flashing into the tower. Kajayo is just getting a little bit too excited for his win, but with that, the Nexus might not fall because Jackie's going to get taken down. Now, Cue Ball is trying to find himself forward on this fight. Static Black Media is looking for these kills. Everyone just kind of running away in fear for that second. They could have ended had Kajayo and Jackie not, or well, I guess mostly Kajayo not flashed into the enemy base. So you hate to see that one. But I'm sure it's not going to matter too much considering it was an execute, so no one even got that shut down.
Yeah, but I think it was a 1,000 gold bounty. No, it wasn't because Mordekaiser finished him off already. But a lot of gold going over to this Ezreal now. I'm not sure if it's gonna be quite enough for him to start carrying, but I mean, it's still 4,000 gold behind, and mid is still about 5,000 gold behind. I mean, 11,000 gold is the difference between these 2 teams right now, including Infernal Soul. So I think the moment of BM is kind of just stalling the game out just for a little bit longer. But you can certainly see that USM still have their hopes up for this game. They're still farming, they're still pushing out, making sure they can set up properly for this next Baron, and maybe perhaps that amount of time is just enough to find their second win, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking for something. The killer instinct means that Jono is just instantly taken down, and I'm sure Static won't have too different of a fate for himself, and Kitty's now going over, but will Jackie be able to win this 1v1 in the gamer zone? That is the question here. Kitty is quite a strong member, but Jackie is just too strong for him. Jukes come out, Jackie on a killing spree, picking up 3 kills for himself quite easily, and this, I think, is where the end of the game will be. I do got to give a shout out to Revenite with another 3 gifted subs during that game. An absolute hype game to see it. A huge win for SUU. And quite honestly, these carries have just dominated the game, and huge ups to them.
Yeah, I think once the Ornn items came in and once the soul was picked up, it was actually pretty much unwinnable for USM at that point. Zoe just does so much damage, and if Kaisa can fight literally anybody alone, then it's free pick. And present performance from SEU so far. Kind of a sloppy ending, but they still took their first victory nonetheless.
Hey Henry.
Yeah, what's up?
Guess what?
What?
You are now subscribed to the League Esports.
I'm subscribed.
Thank you to Revenite.
Thank you.
Revenite has gifted 2 more subs, like Brandon mentioned at the end of the game, to Dark Neurin, as well as Achilles Heel NA. If you're a TLE viewer here, you might know who Achilles Heel is. So thank you so much, Revenite. You are killing it with the subs on the opening night of TLE League of Legends. Awesome. That was a very dominating game coming out from SUU. They're kind of avenging their brethren from last game, who unfortunately took the loss. Although it wasn't necessarily against the same team, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can get someone from SUU into this call for a quick little interview. If anyone from Thunderbird Esports is watching right now, go ahead, let us know who would like to interview. If we wait a minute or two and no one responds, then I'll go ahead and DM them on Discord. But in the meantime, let's break that game down a little bit.
Well, quite honestly, I think they just had like a really really easy time playing towards this bot side because of how strong their bot lane was. I mean, Kai'Sa Rel was playing phenomenally, just keeping so much pressure down. With that, they were able to grab the first two Drakes quite easily. They had a little bit of a hiccup in the mid lane after having some pretty good plays around mid lane, but they really abused the idea of just taking down the Ziggs, especially when he had no flashes. They were super easy to punish on that. I think that that's how Zoe really found a good lead. They used that to find dragons. They were able to zone off really well and just control those chokes. And from there, I think the team fights just happened naturally, and they were able to find a huge success. And their carries just got way too strong to try and deal with.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things was seeing the Ziggs die so often, giving the Zoe so much of a gold advantage. It's just so hard for any of the members to like you mentioned to pressure any objective by controlling like those chokes, right? It's super hard if like you said, if the Kai'Sa and Rel get a lead, you can't step up and poke the Kai'Sa Rel. You can't really do anything to the Zoe, so it's not really much you could do besides trade on the other side of the map, right? Which is something that we did see Cue Ball James do. Pick up the red buff on the other side of the map and go farm his own stuff. But it's almost feels like a consolation prize at most because you're picking up that small amount of gold, trying to stay and hang on to the game while your mid and bot lane kind of just get rolled over and they just keep stacking dragons. It feels really bad.
All right, well, was just talking with the team or the Thunderbird Esports, and we are going to be having Sir Squishy join us for the interview. Sir Squishy is the coach slash captain of both the SUU A and the B team, so he will be joining us in just a minute. I think there he is. Are you here, Sir Squishy?
Oh, 100% here.
100% here. Awesome. Cool. Well, real quick, I just wanted you to introduce yourself to the stream because we haven't actually seen you play on stream because you are the coach and captain of these teams. So who are you?
Well, my name is Sir Squishy. I am just the coach down at SUU. And I coach Team A and Team B, and yeah, have been for about 2-3 years now. So
Awesome. Well, I just want to mention that we have the coach from the first game and the other coach from the first game both here. So
wait, which one is it?
Dark Near Henry.
Oh, what's up? What's up, bud?
Cool. Well, I do want to focus on this last game a little bit because obviously that was the one that your team took the dub on. How do you feel finishing after that game?
Really good. I mean, obviously, this team has never played against us because we've been around for a while in a bunch of your guys' tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows that CJ Osaurus will dominate you on Zoe, literally put you down and just stomp on you. And they left it open, and we just were like, well, this is going to be a clean win here. So we won't expect that to happen again because most people will be banning it. But CJ really came in, and also Jackie. He really popped off. The 1v1 on the Ziggs when he was like 10 health. That was crazy. And also Erwin or Flip Baker just going off with his rail. His rail plays really good. And just everybody played phenomenal. Phenomenal. Anyways, everybody played great. They played the team comp great. They knew exactly where to go, and I'm very, very proud of them of what they did.
For sure.
Yeah, so I want to bring our attention kind of back like all the way to the planning phase, right? Like, what was your thoughts going into draft, and is there anything that kind of sparked the idea of the 3-man trade that you guys did?
Yeah, so one of the things that we've been working on that we started noticing last year is a lot of our players play various roles and not necessarily the same role every time. And so what we wanted to do this season is really kind of throw off teams and just kind of get them thinking on their toes what we're going to go. So we have 3-4 players that can really just swap around at any time. And so if we see something that we want, like say the Zoe, we instantly know CJ's going mid, and then we'll have everybody swap around. And so we have a lot of flexibility with this team, and so it's just really nice. We play in a few other leagues as well, and we're doing the same thing there. And it's just they don't know what to ban, like they just. It's really fun to kind of watch and mess around with this type of swapping. It's kind of really throwing teams off and letting us get a lot of picks and team comps that we want to play.
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure. I think it surprised me, and it certainly surprised the enemy team as well.
Hmm.
yeah, it didn't really seem like there was like anything like truly like targeted that they can ban away from you because of how flexible the team is, and we saw a lot of success come out of one of like the winning teams from last season because of these lane swaps. So definitely a lot of strength in that. Just a final question. So I mean, as you take the win to start it off, I mean, I'm sure you're probably feeling a little bit confident, and your players are too. What's your strategy like? Do you have any ideas going into the rest of your games? Are there any teams you're scared of? Any thoughts going into the rest of the league?
Um, for me personally, the biggest problem for me is gonna be making sure that I draft for the right team, because I have two teams I'm managing, so I got to make sure I don't get them confused here. But other than that, I really feel like for this team in particular, I feel like we have a good chance to take it all. There is a few teams that have a little bit of uh, have some good players, and we'll be looking out for them. But a lot of it's just going to come down to making sure we get picks and drafts right. In the past, we've really sometimes lost at that point. We've picked the wrong things into certain team comps, or just built a team comp that doesn't even make sense. So we're really just going to be focusing on that. I think if me as a coach am able to give my players a good team comp, then they should be able to perform on it, and they'll do a great job. So I have full confidence in my players. That's all going to come down to me and the coaching. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I just want to comment on something that you said earlier, how like a lot of your players are really flexible, and like some people might look at that as something like, oh, like it's hard to plan for when you're playing against that, but I guess something that you probably thought of as well is like, because your players do play multiple roles, they don't get the practice that a player might get if they only play top lane or only play mid. So like it definitely can be a strength in like kind of outsmarting your opponent in draft, but when it comes to like in game, sometimes like yeah, like your top laner might play that Ornn, but he might only have like 3 or 4 games on that Ornn. And so it's definitely something to think about too. Like if you're ever gonna go against SUU, like yeah, you gotta have that in mind, but you also have to remember that like these players, like they might not have like 100% of their games poured into top lane. So I do just want to mention that like is definitely a really cool strategy. I think it's really cool. And although we do ask that in TLE that like players say like they're top, jungle, mid, ADC, and support, it's like there is no official rule saying that you need to stick to those roles, because flexi is definitely a thing. I know a really long time ago in the LCS when Huni played, was it like 4 different roles in 4 different games?
Or the more recent example, like
I
perks and caps.
well, wait, what happened recently? I actually missed that.
Perks and caps back.
Perks and
Oh,
caps.
yeah,
Well,
for
perks
sure.
and caps swap.
Exactly. So it definitely can throw some teams off, and but I would say by all means it's a viable strategy. It's just you gotta, if you're the coach, Sir Squishy, I'm sure you thought this through, but you definitely have to think about like, okay, like yeah, this person kind of plays support, but like we need to make sure that he can actually practice it, and like you need to be able to trust him in case you do have to put that player in whatever role it may be.
It's bitten me in the butt before, a few last year and the year before, but I'm hoping to have learned from those. So hopefully we'll get that down to a science that we don't make those same mistakes. So
For sure.
we'll see what happens.
Well, thank you so much, Sir Squishy, for joining us. We are going to have you drop from the call while we finish up the stream.
All right, thank you guys.
Awesome. So with that, we are going to be wrapping up tonight. First 2 games of the season. How are we feeling about this week's matchup?
Okay, well, I'll just say, like, I'm super excited for TLE. Like, it was really hitting me in game 2. I was like, man, this is... I missed it, honestly. So, I'm super excited. I'm ready to get on the Rift and play myself, honestly. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, just watching these games, I think that we did have some very strong team fighting from one team as they got later in the game. But, really, it is up to anyone. And I think that at the beginning of the league, it's always the same. You don't know what's going to happen. Teams are always going to learn from their mistakes, improve throughout the season, and going into the later games, no one can really be underestimated.
Yeah, for sure. It's I think this TLE is like gonna be one of the closest, like by far. There's
Definitely.
not really any clear underdogs. There's not really any high ranking sandbaggers, right? But it's gonna be very exciting. I think each match is gonna be very close and impactful. So
So
uh,
before
can't
we
wait.
end, we were just talking about SUU drafting, how there's some pretty weird things going on there. I see next week we have Immortal Lotus versus SUU.
Oh.
So who's gonna take that win?
I'm already.
Okay, well, it
Like,
might be Immortal Lotus.
It might
all
be
I'm
Might be
gonna say
okay.
Immortal
is
Lotus.
the coach interview was a mistake because I've just absorbed all the knowledge. Like
Ah.
Yeah, true.
You hear that, Squishy? You just leaked your knowledge to your team.
literally leaked his strategy to two players on the team he's playing next week. So, but nonetheless, I think it'll be a good match. But personally, I know a lot of people are very frustrated, or can be very frustrated about the like swapping play style. But honestly, it's kind of a nice. For me personally, I'm kind of in charge of drafting. Not really, but like, for me personally, like I'm a big part of the planning of what champions we pick, right, and what we play in the practice and play style, right. And I personally think it's gonna be exciting to play against ACU, right? I can't wait to see, what kind of obstacles they're throwing at us. And now that we're able to watch them play, cast over them, have the opposing coach like give us like information. I can't wait to see how we're able to respond now. Like I kind of want like my turn at the the carousel of the draft.
For sure. Well, next week we have WCU versus Quad Bun going up again next week in the Azure League. And then, like Data's mentioned, we have SUU facing off against Immortal Lotus. So stay tuned next week. And we also have Valorant and Rocket League going on later this week, so check it out then. And new to TLE, we also have our D&D group which I believe is every other Friday, and it started off last Friday. So at the end of next week, we'll have D&D again. It was a great time last week, so go ahead and join us on Fridays for that. And just by now, we are going to be signing off. So thank you so much, everyone, for viewing, and we will see you next week on TLE League of Legends. Have a good one.
See ya.